Hi, welcome to This Week in Ames. I'm Susan Guiazda. On today's show, we check in with the Public Works Department. My guest today is Justin Clausen, Operations Manager with the Public Works Department. Justin, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Well, it's always good to have you on the show because it's my favorite time of the year. It's time for the snow to come down.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here. Love to talk about it.
Yeah, you spend a lot of time getting those snowplows ready for this time of year, and although we haven't seen any snow yet, it's probably coming soon.
Yeah, I'm thankful about that. We've had enough to do up to this point. And we can still work without the snow, thankfully. But yes, that time of year is coming. You know, we average 35, 36 inches of snow per year. With a late start like this, that just unfortunately means probably more later. So, you know, we're preparing for that. We have snow plows ready to go. We have, salters and sanders ready to go. So when the weather hits, we'll be prepared to tackle it.
That first snowfall of the year is always challenging. One of the probably the most important messages to our residents is know if you're parked on a snow route. If you park your vehicle on the street, know if you're parked on a snow route. And how would people know that?
Absolutely, that's a big deal. So there's lots of different ways you can find that out. One of the easiest things to do is just look up at the street lights or the signal poles up there. They will have red and white signs that say snow route, and will let you know that you need to move off if we do declare a snow ordinance. Other ways, you can visit the city website. We have lots of information there. I think www.cityofames.org/snow should take you to a lot of our snow ordinance information. Or you could even just call the Public Works Department. Call the operations office at 239-5550, and we can let you know about that stuff.
So another way might be, I've heard a quick way to decide is if you're on a side route, that you're on a snow route.
Yes, side routes as well. The snow routes are really places where we need to efficiently move snow quickly. A lot of that happens on either, like you say, our side routes or our main arterial streets, or there are certain streets as well that are not on side routes that are just serve as collectors for neighborhoods and things like that. If you don't move your vehicle, what'll happen is it'll take us longer to move the snow, and a lot of times your car gets buried in the snow as well. So we have to work with the police department to ticket and potentially tow vehicles as well, just so we can get the snow moved off the streets to keep the transportation network safe for all vehicles.
Well, that's a great point. People ask, well, what's the point of the snow ordinance? Why can't I park my car on the street? And it really does cause problems for the plows.
It does. Our plows are, we have a 10-foot front plow. It's 10 foot wide, and if you think of a normal city street, it's probably 26 feet wide, and then most of them also have a wing plow that goes out probably another 9 to 10 feet as well. So we can plow up to almost 18 to 20 feet at a time. So when you park a car on there, you're going to take up probably 6 to 7 feet of that width. We can't even get around sometimes. So it really slows us down. It's really inefficient. And then when you do move your car, sometimes what happens is if the snow is still there, it freezes down and creates big chunks of ice that are difficult to remove and almost a traffic hazard for other vehicles.
Yeah, so that's the reason why moving the cars off those snow routes is really so important. Again, you talked about those being arterial streets, streets where side buses are going, school buses are going, perhaps an ambulance might be going down, and really those need to be clear.
Absolutely, yeah. One of the biggest reasons for snow and ice control is to keep emergency access just in case. So we really take a lot of pride in doing that and making sure that our emergency responders can get to anyone within a timely manner.
Okay, so we talked about checking to make sure if you're on a snow route, you're aware of it. How do you know if the snow ordinance is in effect?
Yeah, so we tend to push it out electronically as far as we can. You can look at the City of Ames website. You can follow the city Twitter account. You can look on the Facebook page that the city has. Any of those social media sites should have that on there. Other ways as well, we publish it on Channel 12. We reach out to local news medias in the Des Moines metro area and radio. You could call in again to the Public Works Department or anywhere in City Hall. They should be able to help you know if the snow ordinance is in effect.
Or you could look at the ground.
Absolutely. If there's more than 2 inches of snow on an arterial street, it's likely going to go into effect.
So either the 2 inches is there or it's coming.
Exactly. It's not always, you may see say an inch on the ground, and you may assume, well, it's not snow ordinance time yet. You may technically be correct, but we may be putting it into effect early because we know we're going to get 6 or 7 inches. We want to give people as much notice as possible, give you time to either get home from your job or take care of whatever you need to take care of and get your car off the street before we actually go and ticket and tow vehicles. We don't want to do any of that. That doesn't help us out. It actually slows us down to have to do that. But yeah, if you don't see 2 inches in the ground yet, but the forecast calls for much more, just assume it's going to be in effect.
Yeah, move your car, because the worst thing that could happen is that it doesn't go in effect or we don't get the snow. But what could happen is that you get a lot of snow, you get a ticket, and your vehicle gets towed. So.
Yes, and we've been caught before when the forecast calls for an inch of snow and it snows 5. And unfortunately, during those times, we have to put it in at a really rushed state, which is difficult. And so we try to work with people on that. But if you do see it snowing and you have the ability to move it, please go ahead and do it. It makes everyone's job so much easier.
And where do we suggest? There's places you can safely move your car to.
Yeah, if you have driveway to park it in, obviously that's a very easy place to do it. Any non-snow route. So a lot of residential streets are non-snow routes. They may have alternating parking in certain areas of town, or just anywhere that's not on a snow route. But then what we would ask you to do is, once the snow route is cleared and the snow's done falling and the snow ordinance is no longer in effect, if you move your car back to that street and off to the side street you were on before, we can clear that out at a later date as well.
Excellent. So again, once the snow has fallen, it's stopped snowing, and you see that the snow is clear from the street, you can go ahead and move back.
Exactly, that's correct.
So is there an all clear?
There's not an all clear. We've talked about an all clear, and it sounds good in theory. In practice, we've struggled with it, because what happens is we will get done, say on the east side of town working west or west working east. For us to give the all clear, it may be several hours for the first people before they can actually move back. So we haven't done that yet, but it's something that we're definitely looking into doing to try to give people an idea that it's all clear. But if you see it's plowed from curb to curb and it's done snowing, then it's just safe to assume you can move back.
Okay, great. Well, Justin, we know you're busy. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you for this great information.
Thank you much.
Again, if you want more information about snow routes, about the snow ordinance, or really anything about snow, make sure to check our website at cityofames.org/snow. Also, as we get into the holidays and maybe you have a Christmas tree at your home, remember there are special holiday safety precautions that come with having a live Christmas tree. The Ames Fire Department has little hang tags that explain to you some safety tactics you can use to keep your house safe this holiday season. Those things include turning off the lights when you go to bed at night, making sure your tree has plenty of water, and keeping animals away from the Christmas tree. You can learn more information about that project also on our website at cityofames.org. Well, that's our show for today. Thanks for watching, and tune in next week for This Week in Ames.